Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films, and today I'm going to be reviewing Volume 1 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5, the manga. And basically, I guess this was about a year ago now, geez Louise, but about a year ago I reviewed the Yu-Gi-Oh! R manga series. It sort of takes place in the middle of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Manga, and I reviewed all 5 volumes and I thought it was pretty good, and since then I said that I wanted to get into Yu-Gi-Oh! Manga, and it's been about a year since then, but finally I'm getting into some Yu-Gi-Oh! Manga. Obviously not the original series, we're into Arc 5, but yeah, I picked this up and I read it and I was like, you know what, this is pretty good. I think I'm going to go ahead and review just the first volume. So yeah, let's get right into this. So, if you don't know, Arc 5 is the 5th Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, and basically, the show obviously is a lot different from the manga, but the manga is interesting. Now, this is sort of a thing with every Yu-Gi-Oh! Spin-off, is that the manga is different. GX is different, 5Ds is a lot different. Zexal, I believe, is different, though kind of glancing through the first volume, it doesn't seem that different, but I'll have to read it instead of just skimming it. Arc 5 is very different from the anime. So the story here is, it's just a normal day in Miami City when people from the Leo Institute, the Leo Corporation, led by Declan Akaba, which I'm going to be using their English anime names. So, sorry if you read this. Not many of the characters' names are the same as the English dub of Arc 5, but I'm so used to the English dub of Arc 5 that I'm just gonna say the names like that. So hopefully you can understand who's who. So yeah, so the Leo Institute, led by Declan Akaba, is after this sort of, I guess, vigilante named the Phantom, and Zuzu is, trying to remember everything. So Zuzu is working at a duel school owned by her father, and there's not a lot of business to the duel school. So she decides she's going to find the Phantom and have him teach, and then suddenly they're going to get a large influx of students and stuff. And the Phantom is none other than our boy Yuya Sakaki. And the reason they call him the Phantom is because of his signature monster, the Odd Eyes Phantom Dragon. So yeah, we get a quick introduction we get our first appearance by Yuya. And there's like this kid who's like crying, and he's like, I wanted to see the dragons at the Leo tournament. And so Yuya summons Odd Eyes Phantom Dragon, but that immediately alerts Leo, the Leo Corp, and Declan that he's there. And Declan sends out some of his agents, Silvio, who was in, well, these are all characters from the anime, but Silvio, Shay, and Sora. And it's interesting, obviously, boom, we have some differences here. Well, obviously with Yuya being the Phantom and a vigilante and stuff, but also because we have Sora and Shay, who are in the anime from different dimensions, and not from the standard dimension, which is where Yuya and the gang, Yuya and Zuzu, are from. So that's already different and interesting. So yeah, Silvio catches up with Yuya and they have a cool duel, but it's actually not Yuya that's dueling, because Yuya actually switches with Yuto, who in the anime is from the Xyz dimension, and looks just like Yuya, kind of. They keep saying that, but it's, I guess kind of. So Yuto comes out, and he duels with Silvio, but then eventually Yuya takes over the duel. So we kind of have a Yugi Pharaoh situation going on here where Yuya and Yuto basically inhabit the same body and swap back and forth. So that's interesting, and that is different from the anime, which is good. So he defeats Silvio. I'm kind of just skimming through the plot really quick. Shay goes out to duel Yuya, and this is after Yuya has met with Zuzu, and now she is his manager, which is really fun. And so Shay and Yuya have this really intense duel, and they pretty much just address the, I don't know the right word for this. Shay is kind of a masochist, I guess. Is that the correct term I'm looking for? I'm not sure. But basically, he likes the intensity of duels. Like, he purposely lets himself lose a lot of life points because it hurts him. It physically is pain to him, but he loves the pain of it. So it's really interesting. He's very, I guess, edgy in this. He's very much an edgelord. And something I like in this that they say too is that he's having this really intense duel with Yuya. And Yuya is, like in the anime, he's a dual-tainer, which is interesting. He's a vigilante and a dual-tainer, which is... It's weird. The dual-taining thing didn't really work in the anime, I think, and I'll talk more about this when I review the anime, once the English dub is done, because I'm a dub person. Anyway, so yeah, he's a dual-tainer. He uses all these weird cards, but some Odd Eyes monsters, and Shay basically says, dual-taining, that's not a good way to have fun, but through this, he's having such an intense duel with Yuya that he really enjoys it. He doesn't like Yuya's way of having fun, but Yuya is still allowing him to have that, adrenaline build up with this intense duel. So that I like. And that's pretty much the plot of this volume. And at the end, Yuya is talking with Yuto, and Zuzu and her dad are like, why is he talking to himself? What, does he have a double personality? And Yuya's like, actually, it's more like quadruple. So that's actually an interesting twist, that he may actually have the other dimension Yuya's in a part of him already, which would be Yugo from the Synchro dimension and Yuri from the Fusion dimension. But no sign of different dimensions in this volume, which is cool. So overall, I really liked this volume. I think this is really fun. I'm really interested to see where this goes. Normally, with these manga, now granted, I haven't read that many. I think I've sort of skimmed over the first volumes of 5Ds and GX and Zexal, and I've read Yu-Gi-Oh! R completely, and they're okay, but I prefer the anime. Whereas with this, I kind of prefer this to the anime, which is really interesting. I thought this was really, really good. And I like... There are a lot of things... See, the thing about this is, it's probably... Okay, this is good. This is really good, and I really like this. But this is probably nothing too crazy or too great, I suppose. This is probably just standard stuff for reimagining the anime as a manga for Yu-Gi-Oh! Because, like I said, with the exception of the original series, all the manga adaptations of Yu-Gi-Oh! Spin-offs are different. So this is probably just, standard stuff. They changed some stuff. Yuya is a vigilante, pretty much, instead of just some kid from a dual school. And it's interesting, but I think the reason that I really enjoyed this book was because it really just takes away a lot of the flaws that Arc 5 had. And Arc 5 had a lot of flaws. But yeah, I think that's really just why I like Arc 5, or the first volume of Arc 5 that much, is because it takes away a lot of the flaws. And I'll get more into those flaws when I review the anime. And now that I'm thinking about it, I should probably like make a list of like everything I want to point out in that review. So I should like prepare for it. But yeah, this was really good. I really liked it. The good thing is, I liked all the characters, and they're pretty much the same. I mean, Shay is a little different from what he was like in the anime, but he was still pretty similar to from the anime to the manga. They're all kind of the same character, but it really highlights that in the Arc 5 anime, they're good characters. It's just not the greatest story around them, and I think that's sort of the overlying problem with the Arc 5 anime. So I really like this, that because they're basically the same characters but in a better story. So yeah, if you haven't read this, pick it up. Tell me what you think. I think Volume 2 is already out, so I'm going to try to pick that up pretty soon. And I believe Volume 3 comes out in March. So yeah, definitely give this a shot if you like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or manga or mangoes. No, that may be the dumbest joke I've ever put on here. Yeah, my voice is starting to get a little hoarse, so yeah, I have not filmed in a while. I just realized, geez Louise. So, that is Volume 1 of the Arc 5 manga. I really enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy it too. And yeah, probably... Now, the thing is, because I said Volume 3 comes out in March, so there's going to be a large break between, me reading Volume 3 and Volume 4, because Volume 4 won't be out yet. So I'll try to get into some of the other Yu-Gi-Oh! Manga. I have Volume 1 of Zexal, so we'll probably pick up Zexal next. So yeah, that is pretty much it. End cards are going to pop up right about now. Excuse me, you can click on those. You can follow 7th Hour Films on Twitter at 7th Hour Films. And that's pretty much it. I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I'm sorry for burping. Take care.